What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 38 of Damn That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue. I'm Randy Salinas, joined by Junior Salinas, aka my brother. We got a good, fun episode going on for you. On this one, this is our Father's Day special, so shout out and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Uh, Definitely hope y'all's Sunday went really good. Hope you got everything you wanted. Uh, Probably did some cooking on the grill, uh, more than likely. But definitely shout out to all the fathers out there. Like I said, happy Father's Day to y'all. Let's get this show started.
Hey, Junior here. Yes, definitely shout out to all the fathers, including ours. Happy Father's Day to that. For sure, even the new fathers out there that just became fathers or became fathers again for the second time. Happy Father's Day to you. For sure, happy you had a great one. Let's get to it. Let's first and foremost, we thank you to you, the listeners. Make sure you check us out anywhere you get your podcast or on YouTube. Definitely hit this subscribe or like button and share it to help the channel out. But let's give a shout out to our sponsors, which are
Holy Smoke Spice Company, Brothers Keepers Barbecue, Prairie Fresh, Meat Hugger, Mad Cow Cutlery. Definitely thank y'all for supporting us. And then, of course, our small business shout outs for episode 38. Mine is going to be a little meat company out of Trenton, Texas, Blue Bonnet Meat Company. A couple weeks ago, we did have some of their meat that a customer brought to us, and their jalapeno cheddar sausage is amazing. So definitely, if you want some killer good meat products, definitely hit up Blue Bonnet Meat Company in Trenton, Texas. Their address is 719 South Pearl Street in Trenton, Texas. Be sure to check them out on Facebook or look them up online. Go in there, check them out. That is my small business shout out. You got one for this episode?
no small business shout out, but I do got a shout out to the New England Pitmasters group that's on there. They're always posting all kinds of stuff, always out there to help you become better grill masters, pit masters, whatever kind of master you want to be. They're just signed up for a competition coming up in August, so we wish them the best of luck in that. So go check them out, New England Pitmasters. They will definitely accept you into their group because we're down here in Texas and they're way up there. But just a shout out to them and have them just keeping up all the good hard work that they've been up to. So, but let's get into it.
Get into the brass tacks.
See, you keep copying that stuff. We're gonna keep the smoke rolling better than Pin Line Barbecue Podcast. And he said, just go ahead and bring me up there as a co-host. Just put my name out there. One episode, maybe I'll come up, be a little co-host, sit next to him. Hey, you never know. Let's get it. We had a over the last weekend, you had a wedding that you catered for. Some questions popped up from that, actually, and whether or not how much of it you share is totally up to you. But overall, those briskets came out good. One meat on it. Macaroni was awesome. The mashed potatoes were awesome. The rolls, really good. Lemonade, tea, it was all great. Main part of it, the brisket, we did take the brisket out to Becca and Derek's that Sunday. They loved it. We heated it up in the oven for about 300. Let it cook. Some parts overcooked, but that's kind of to be expected in the oven. But overall, they loved it and ate it up for there. But questions that came from it is, when somebody's doing like that, how much meat do you determine that they need on your catering game? What's your method when it comes to catering? When somebody says, I've got 100 and some people that I've invited, obviously we know half of those people generally go. And this was no different. But how do you come up with this is how much brisket or chicken or whatever that they need?
Well, you got to figure it's good rule of thumb is about a quarter or a third pound per person of meat. So if you look at it as, a quarter per person, you can't really kind of go wrong with that. Some people will say no, you got to have a quart, third, 1/3 of it. You got to factor in there is going to be some kids in there. Some women may not eat as much; they may just eat like a slice and a half or so. So you're going to have a little bit more. Uh, with them cooking one meat with just having one meat, just brisket with macaroni and mashed potatoes on the side. Um, you know, I figured we had to cook 10 briskets, so basically a little over 100 pounds before you trimmed it. Um, some of them were kind of small, so I kind of figured they would cook down to like 3-4 pounds. With the bigger ones maybe being 5 to 6 pounds. So I figured it'd be kind of just right if everyone showed up. But being hot here in Texas, wedding outdoors, some people didn't want to show up. They may have showed up late. Totally fine, does happen. Uh, but 10 briskets probably would have been just right with everybody being able to go back for seconds. Some people came back for seconds and thirds, as we saw. You know, Great reviews from the brisket, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. They just kind of went back outside because it was a little bit cooler on the patio than it was inside for whatever reason. But like I said, good rule of thumb. How I calculate it is about a quarter or a third per pound of cooked meat. So you got to factor in. So if you're cooking for 100, definitely you can cook a little bit less if you want to. I just kind of been lately with that last catering job that we had like 180 people. We ran out of having more just in case. It's always better to have a little bit more than not enough. You don't want people to go hungry there. You rather have too much, in my opinion.
No, absolutely. You rather have more, too much than you need. Now, people coming back for seconds. What was funny was the little kids coming back for seconds and thirds, and they wanted brisket and they wanted the mac and cheese. That they were tearing that up right there. And then you got some that hey, they came back and wanted just the mashed potatoes and all this and that. But we will bring this, and I'm going to bring this up here. The mashed potatoes here. We have a contest brewing. A mashed potato off. She keeps talking about the mashed potatoes, how you make it. I'm not going to tell the recipe here, how Dad makes it. How she does. Some people may not like it that way. And I said, well, you know what? Step up. So she going to step up. Chelsea and Dad she wants to have a mashed potato off to see if she can convince you of a new recipe. What do you say about that?
So she's actually going to step into the kitchen and do something?
She going to step in. I ain't going to cook it. I said, you going to step in. You want it. You do it. I will do the same for both. I will peel the potatoes because that seems to be whatever they're good at. Now, cutting those briskets was a learning experience for sure for me, but because I hadn't done it in a while, just being honest. I usually go to the cook-offs. I've said it time and time again. My job is not to help him carry this out, do this, put it on the pit. Take it off if you need to take it off. He cuts it, he slices it, he dices it. I take the box, usually the quarter mile or so to the churn and make sure we're on time on that spot. So, which is an important task. You'd be surprised. We've been to competitions and you see people running because they got 2 minutes because they've lost track of time. So that's my job is keeping us on time there. But we do have the mashed potato cook-off. We will let you know the results of that. We'll get that scheduled for sure. But as Father's Day was coming up and was rolling around, your birthday was coming around. How old were you this year? How old did you turn this year?
I turned 22.
22 years old. Do you believe that, folks? I don't believe it, but we'll let him believe. 22. Most people want to turn 21. He turned 22. No, he turned about 85. Everybody says he's older than I am, and that's
whatever. Ain't nobody says that.
Nobody says young for my age. So we'll definitely happy birthday to the pit master.
Oh, that gray and that goatee. No, I turned 36. Uh, the only thing they do say is they say that he looks like our mother and I look like our father for whatever reason, and it's the total opposite. I don't see how they can compare the two. I mean, I guess they see the beard
I think
and they
they,
go, "Oh
I
yeah,
think
you
they
look just
did.
like your dad."
You look
No,
nothing like
even
that.
he says no.
If I had hair when I had hair and I had a beard, we would be identical.
Nope.
That's what we would be. Straight up identical. Now I act like my mother, and he may act like my dad, but we look for sure. I think he may be a mix, more of a mix of both than one or the other, like I am. But uh, we do salute. Happy birthday to you. We will have sure we will share some of the stuff that we got into or he got into for sure. But cooking, going back to your catering thing. I mean, I know it's been real hot for the competitions and stuff. What are you doing catering wise? Because I know you're stepping out at a new adventure. Are you looking to start selling plates? You looking to start selling for businesses? What are you looking to kind of do?
Uh, a little bit of both. Just trying to make a little bit extra money. Um, yeah, basically what it is trying to make some extra money so we can definitely get some businesses here in the DFW that do want some catering. We got one coming up at the end of the month that we're going to be catering lunch for them out there in Richardson, Texas. Yeah, another catering order coming up next weekend. Um, so definitely when the pit's going to be fired up, definitely we'll be offering up some stuff. But certainly if you're in the DFW area and you want to try our stuff, um, whether it's just whatever it is, just hit us up, let us know. And we'll get something lined up for you. Hopefully the meat prices can go back down, but certainly not looking like it.
Does not appear that way. So for sure, keep that in mind when you do, whether you're out eating barbecue somewhere or something. I've had people wait. It's gotten more expensive, but everything has, not just barbecue, but anything in general has. Like I told you, we've gone out for steaks and have left with tip with $42. Now that meal has gone up $10 since this thing, and it's nothing has changed the way we order. Nothing. It's just the cost of everything has gone up. Now I saw this question too come across. One of the things, the messenger. Let's answer it for everybody. If somebody wants to cater, let's say they want to cater for their lunch whenever, how much notice do you need? Would you feel safe saying I need about this 48 hours, 72 hours, a week?
I prefer a week just to give me enough time to be able to make sure I have everything, to be able to find the a good brisket for you, good chicken ribs, whatever the case may be is. Definitely not the day before because there's certainly it's going to be very very hard for me to do the day before. If you give me maybe 3 4 days, uh, you know, advance notice, maybe we can definitely do something. Certainly, I could put in the post. Definitely, I prefer a week, just because it gives me enough time to make sure I have everything, make sure I'm able to find everything, uh, and if we have to serve, making sure that I'm able to get people to serve. Because we can. It's kind of hard to do definitely during the week. Right now being summertime, Mason being able to be miss work, that helps because he's able to come and make that same amount of money that he's making over there in a couple hours. But certainly, like I said, at least a week preferred.
I think that's a safe thing. I mean, like I said, if you need it, I know him. If you needed it, if it was Monday and you needed it Thursday, and you're like, just get me what you can, um, he could probably make that work. But I mean, if we're talking, it's Wednesday night, somebody texted and I need it for Friday. It's kind of pushing it, just because we value our product as well. He wants to make it something that you're going to reorder and not just, hey, I just wasted money on it. So we take the pride in making it and doing all this. So that's where that's why he wants that extra little bit of time. So definitely hit him up, hit me up on the social media sites or on BigSalinasBarbecue.com. You can go right there to the contact us page, tell us what you need or get your quote, and we will help you out in any way we can from there. And again, like I said, even if it's something we can't do or we don't know and you don't know where to begin to look, hit us up. We can do some research and help you out. So that way you'll come back to us when you need to. So let's take a quick break here, and then we're going to dive into our segment Inside the Pit, where we will keep the smoke rolling.
Field trips. But no, I was talking about this the other day. We did shit in school that they wouldn't do in school now. Like we watched Roots in school and reenacted like ship scenes where...
Yeah. Oh
my
God! What the hell?
Yeah.
Jesus.
We literally had to lay down and lay like they laid.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
Wow.
bro. 6th grade, bro. That was sixth
grade. Come on.
Hey,
That
well,
was
we did. We had
grade.
Mr. Lyle who made us reenact crap too. Like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that was weird.
No,
were,
yeah.
were you Mr. Lyle's class?
I had him. Yeah, I had him. We had him. I can't remember. It was like was that U.S. history or something like that?
History, brother.
Oh yeah.
Remember how they'd always be like, when you get to the 8th grade, they're not gonna take this crap. When you get to high school, they're not gonna take this crap.
Is that what you tell your kids? Like you got to, right? You got to. You
Oh,
got to.
man.
You got to just keep. It's like the carrot at the end of the stick. Like somebody's eventually not going to put up with this shit. You know,
Right.
you just
Yeah,
gotta let them
whatever.
know. Whichever next level, like
Do not believe that is actually true.
in college, they're not going to take this shit. Like, hey, you're in the real world now. They're not going to take this shit. When they get that
Yeah.
first job, hey, you have a real job now. Your boss is not going to take this shit.
Hey man, I've been reading somewhere where companies now cannot fire even their lowest performing performers because there's such a job shortage. Like if you just show up to your job, you're doing like
Well,
you're 90% there.
and that sounds easy, but that is a task, my friend. I tell kids that to this day in like orientation situations. I tell them that is the key to life, sir, because it is. I will tell you that. Show up and just try your best. And that's it. You will do well in life if you show up and try your best on time.
Just show up on time.
Do those things and you will fucking succeed in life. It's 100% the truth.
Welcome back. Johnny Mags, we just messing with you, brother. We love you. Keep up the good work that you're doing. Don't kill us. It's a long way for you to come anyway, and you know how we roll down here in Texas, so we ain't scared. Maybe a little bit. Just playing. We ask the Inside the Pit questions, where we ask questions to several social media sites and get just comments from different people. Of course, we're going to ask our pit master here as well. The question that we had for this week was, what is your most favorite thing to cook and what is your least favorite thing to cook on the grill? Whether you're grilling, smoking, whatever, what is your least and most favorite? Mine, I will answer because I have very little. I don't cook as much as that. I will say my least favorite thing is hot dogs or brisket, just because the time that it takes for brisket, and it scares me because that's a lot. It's a lot of money you're spending on a brisket, and if you mess up, there's no going back. There's nothing you can do. So that one's there. I would say my favorite so far has been love cook me a steak. Steak from there, right in there would be probably my favorite. It would be a steak or even some ribs. I've cooked a rack of ribs and they said it was pretty good. So I can only improve on that. From there, what is your most and least favorite?
To grill, probably be a steak. Preferably either ribeye or a tomahawk steak. Definitely get ready to eat one on the first game of the season of the Cowboys. It's gonna be very, very nice to bite into that tomahawk steak.
Am I sharing the tomahawk steak? They said they gonna let that
You gonna be
run. Boy,
cooking.
I'm
You're
excited.
gonna be cooking.
I don't think so.
And then to grill, to smoke, probably would be probably brisket. Just because the effort that I put into it. Can't go wrong with some good rack of ribs or something either. Least favorite thing to grill probably would be some like chicken. Just because trying to get it just perfect, not overcooked, not too charred, and it's not as easier. It's not as easy as a steak. Definitely, I do like chicken smoked versus grilled. Definitely deep fried. Give me some deep fried chicken.
That's a different category.
That won my heart. And then the least favorite thing to smoke. I don't know if I ran into that yet.
Pork butts.
Probably jalapeno poppers. I guess. If I had to pick something.
I would say, yeah, because that's more of the prep work.
They're easy to cook when they're on there, but to get them to look really, really good is really hard. You can't go wrong with jalapeno poppers, on the smoker. But to get them to look that amazing presentation wise, with perfect wrapped around bacon, nothing coming out. That does take time. And I like messy stuff, but some people, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, they see some little bitty thing wrong, they're going to get into it.
Somebody gonna tell you. They're the experts. They're the Gordon Ramsays of the thing, the Myron Mixons. Come on, everybody. It's not perfect all the time. That's just for sure. So, some thoughts from around the thing we asked, like I said, we asked several one. This one was from the New England Pitmasters. One of them said his favorite thing. Brian said his favorite was brisket. Least favorite is hot dog, just because I don't think there's any kind of thought into it, and that's fine. One said wings and thighs was his most favorite, and he hated the beef ribs, just because they're so big and they're hard. And it's one of those like a brisket. You mess up, there's no going back on it. One said his favorite was smoked hamburgers, which you can do those pretty good. Least favorite was chicken thighs, just because he struggles at getting him right. And of course, we hope he keeps trying. And that's tough. And that's what's got me scared. I haven't tried it on the Weber kettle yet because I'm like, chicken, I love it. And if you mess up, you're running somewhere else to get dinner.
It's easy to do with wings. Cooking wings on it, you can just put the heat in the middle and just go vortex style on it. But chicken thighs, chicken legs, it's really kind of hard to get them just right, especially like the breast. To get the breast to be juicy and perfect, it does take a lot of time, a lot of effort into it. So if you don't have patience, definitely, it's probably gonna be your least favorite thing to cook or smoke.
One said on the Texas Brew and Cube Junkies was my favorite answer of all of them. I'll say his name, Bobby Cubin. Favorites are meats. He loves cooking all of them. His least favorite thing, the vegetables. And I couldn't say it better. But he went down and said it would be sausages or a specialty, but he's pretty good at pork shoulders and ribs too. But I like that. That's your favorite. You like cooking the meat. It's when you get down to the vegetables, you get down to that other stuff, smoking it, trying to get it on there. I know it's a little tiresome and it's harder, but I know Dad's done with his salsa, some smoked or grilled, tomatoes and puts those ingredients grilled in there and gets that smoked grilled chili in there that's really good. From there, a couple other ones in the North Texas barbecue addicts was tri-tips and baby backs. He hated cooking brisket and fish. Fish would be tough, I would think. I haven't tried it on there. One said pork butts was his favorite. And then the other ones were just kind of all the same. They didn't like, mostly was coming up to fish, shrimp, and kebabs were right around the least favorite, just to round out those. But steak seems to be up there. Ribs are up there. Chicken is up there. Like I said, if you know how to do it, you know how to get it right. It just takes practice. But with cost of everything going up, it's can you afford to practice and do it? But we will see. And so you mentioned you like cooking it all. You love cooking this and that. You really don't have a least favorite. But out of all your favorites, what is your tip on it? Your most favorite, give us one tip on making it right.
I mean, like I said, my favorite thing to smoke is the brisket. And something I have picked up and kind of along the way is if you're having where the burnt ends, the point meat is kind of a little bit too charred and maybe burnt. Somewhere along those lines. I posted something over the weekend on Instagram, Facebook, and throughout some Facebook groups of me putting foil on the point just to make sure it prevents it from getting too charred, being too burnt, and being able to still get that nice spark. A lot of people are saying, no, you don't need to do that anymore. Focus more on the the flat meat, this and that. It was a lot of, keyboard people. I had not had any kind of problems with the flats. If you trim it right, you get that, that 1/4 inch of fat on there to render down. Focus on, if you're cooking on the offset like me, where your point's going to be towards the fire, you're going to either put a piece of wood or foil over the point just to prevent it from burning or getting too charred. It's something some pit masters do, some people don't. It's totally up to you. Just a little tip. Try it. Don't try it. Totally up to you. Steaks. You can't go wrong with, reverse sears. So basically, smoking it low and slow. Maybe if you got a Weber, little grill, put all your charcoal on one side, putting the meat on the other side, letting it get up to the temperature, maybe 120, taking it over to the coals, getting a good flip, maybe 2 minutes on each side, put in a nice jar, and they're good. Let that meat rest, whether it's steak, letting it rest 10, 15 minutes if you can. If you're like us, we're impatient, we're going to, bite into it right away. Brisket, definitely give it a long rest. Like you had asked, how long they rested. We cut into them what 2, 3 o'clock.
About 2, we started cutting.
And some were resting since 9 o'clock to about 9, 10 o'clock. I prefer for them to be resting at least 8 hours. Certainly, if you can rest in 12 hours or longer, it just helps because you're retaining more moisture back into the flats. So that way, when you cut into it, it doesn't dry out. And as you can tell in some of the briskets, if you get that good, nice, long rest, when you bite into it the next day, it's not dry. You get that nice, good little moisture still on it. If you just put it in the microwave like I do, put it in the microwave, let it, and when you bite into it, you're going to be, okay, it's still some moisture in it because it's retained all that moisture back. Definitely rest it a long as you can, at least 6 hours if you minimum. I recommend. I've done it for at least 12 hours and it comes out great. So these are my tips.
Now your resting method here. to go into it. You have the nice boxes that you can leave them in the butcher paper, stick them in there, and you're good to go. For somebody like myself that doesn't have one, don't say just go buy one because that would be the obvious choice, the obvious thing. For somebody that maybe doesn't need one because you use them for catering, how could you, where could you put those to rest them? How would you wrap it to keep it warm so you could make it rest that long?
Yep. You can leave it out. You can put it in the cooler. You can, if wrap it in foil, open the foil a little bit to let some of that steam out. If you wrap it in butcher paper, leave it on the counter for maybe an hour or two. You kind of want to get that temperature to start coming back down to like 160. Wrap it in a cooler with a nice, old towel if you got one. If you want to just throw it in the oven, throw it in the oven. But put it on, the lowest temperature. I think ours will, cook at 170. If it gets to 160, cook it on there, and you can just kind of leave it in there and set it. That's what the restaurants do. So you look at Franklin's, Hurtado's, Terry Black's, all these, top places. They have a warmer that's electric where they can kind of set it to like 160 and just keep that temperature there. So while it's resting for 12 hours at 160, you're not having to worry about it going, getting bad. It's going to stay there, and that moisture is going to go right back into that brisket. So if you got a cooler, put it in a cooler. If you don't, like I said, put on the lowest setting that your oven will do, and just let it go.
But you could set it, like you said, in an old towel and like a cooler and be okay.
Yep. Yeah, just kind of wrap the brisket in the butcher paper in the towel, set it in there, and forget it. If you have a pan, put it in the pan. Just that way, any kind of moisture or juices come out, it goes into the pan. And then what I do is just kind of put that pan kind of together, or maybe kind of put a little foil over it, and then just putting the towel on top of it just to kind of keep all that heat in there. Just that way, if you're keeping some of those juices, so that way you can dump the meat back into it later. If you're gonna freeze some of it, you can. If you're going to vacuum seal it, you can put some of that juices back into it, and you can get some of that moisture back into it later. If you need to.
Now, diving back here, chicken. If you were going to do chicken, like myself, really do it for the first time, not just wings. I think I'd be okay, like you said. But I don't have the vortex, but I got the two that can push together that act like a vortex. And then I can put all the wings around the side. I think I would be fine with that. If I was going to cook like actual legs or thighs or something like that, what would be a good starting point for somebody like that wanted to, like the gentleman that was having a little issues with his chicken thighs? What would some tips to maybe potentially help him get them just right or better off?
Definitely cook it at higher temperatures. When I cook my chicken, I prefer it to be about 350, 325 at the lowest. Just because the higher it is, you're able to get that skin a little bit crispy, not kind of like fried crispy, but you're able to kind of get it to tighten up to where it starts to get that fat that's under in that under the chicken thigh skin to start rendering down, so that when you bite into it, you're just not getting a whole thing of fat. You're like, ugh, I'm sure we've all kind of probably eaten some kind of chicken that we're just kind of taking thrown away. Definitely cook it at a higher temperature. Definitely, if you want to kind of brine your chicken, you can. There's so many different things you can do. Salt, pepper, garlic, brown sugar. You can go oranges in there, lemon in there. Whatever kind of stuff you want to put into your brine, definitely you can if you want. But if you just want to straight up, season it, throw it on the grill, cook it at a higher temperature. You can still do like kind of, like I talked about, putting all your coals on one side, letting it go on the other side, kind of like a low and slow type deal. But you're still getting it up to 350, 375. If you want to go for 100, hey, go for it. You just kind of have to make sure you're getting the temperature on the chicken thighs to close to 170. You can pull it off about 165. Put foil over the pan, throw it in the oven, and it's going to come up to 170. Me, I like to cook it to 170 or, chicken breast to 165, then pull it off. But most of the time I'm brining my stuff, like competition-wise. Backyard, you're still going to be able to retain all that moisture in there. So if you want to cook it 5 degrees less, cook it 5 degrees less because it is going to rise another 5 degrees if you put foil over it.
For sure. And then make sure, like you said, if you're doing it on the Weber kettle or something like I would be doing, to make sure you have your smoke vent at the top in the right area. So that way it comes from that one side and exits the other side. So you actually get that smoke there. I have made that little mistake. It was early in the cook, so there was no harm, no foul. I wasn't really doing anything. Simple turn of the thing, and all of a sudden you get it going in the right direction. For sure, I think there are some great tips on that for sure. I'm sure we're going to be asking more about brisket tips and tricks and steak and chicken as the summer and stuff begin to roll on and as it comes here. Definitely while you're out there, stay hydrated, whether it's beer, liquor, drink you some water in between some of those because it is super hot outside. It's hotter than normal. So we don't want anybody getting sick. We want you to be able to enjoy your food once you've done all that hard work to cook it from there. But let's take another little break here and we will be back with our final segment we call Round the Pit.
Just suspend your disbelief.
See, that's the thing. And that's the thing. In that, you could be. It's like, do you like music? Are you into the lyrics or are you into the music? You know what I mean? Like, I'm into the music more than the lyrics.
Into the lyrics.
I don't pay attention. I don't go that deep, man. But my fandom is there. It just doesn't go that deep. Not like that to that level.
What are you talking about? Stranger Things? Your fandom?
Well, just like when it comes to like technical things, and he was talking about how you can really nerd out. Like, there's levels to it, kind of.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was good shit.
Would you give it A+, Jorge?
Yeah.
Yes, I would give it an A+.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, my earlier
A for me.
This is my favorite thing on TV, like that's come out this summer. Like not maybe even movie like situation because all of them are an hour and a half long. Like this is my favorite thing. It's been like the only thing I can think about. I think about Vecna every day. I really do. Like it comes up in my head. I'm like probably Vecna,
Right.
And then like the song.
So what do you give it?
That's heavy.
All right, welcome back. Our last segment of the day, where we talk about around the pit stuff. We talk about around the pit, for sure. Definitely, like we were saying as we ended the last segment, definitely stay hydrated and stuff out there because it is getting warm. But do not let that deter you from cooking some great barbecue for your family and your friends. As the NBA finals, the NHL finals end, baseball will be by itself. That means football season is coming on quick. And for those that don't know, we do have a bet that has been added to. The bet is first regular season game versus Tampa Bay. Randy says they're going to go 3 and out, or fumble, or turn the ball over within the first 3 plays, or even 4, because they could go 4 on 4 for whatever reason. You never know where they're at and not get it. That would be considered a turnover on down. I would then have to go and buy and cook him a tomahawk steak. Should they get one first down, just one, I don't need him to get 2 or 3, just one first down on the first series of the drive, he's got to go drive and buy me a tomahawk steak and cook it and watch me eat it. Since then, Chelsea has decided she wants to put her 2 cents into it and says they're going to score a touchdown on the first drive. And if she does, she wants Randy to cook her some Dr. Pepper ribs just for her. Randy, will you take that bet? Yes or no? Will you add on to the bet?
No, because what are we getting in return? We gotta get something in return.
No. Here's the thing.
No.
If they don't score a touchdown,
she has to add to her part on the bet. So that means if she doesn't win, she has to do something for each one of us.
But it does. I would still win the bet if they don't score a touchdown. If I lose.
But you would get 2 things.
You were so cocky about it. It doesn't matter. We'll do it. Now all of a sudden you're retracting on your bet.
Because she's not having to do anything. She's basically in a win-win situation.
She doesn't get to win. She doesn't get to eat the tomahawk.
She either don't have to spend no money, and she either gets to have to buy, or she gets to eat some ribs. We, on the other hand, we either have to spend money and cook it, or we get to eat. And the other person, because we're original bet, one of us is having to do it. Only thing she has to do is eat ribs. Is she getting a rack of ribs or not?
I don't think they're going to score a touchdown. So
they're not scoring a touchdown, but she wants in on the bet.
Therefore, I would win the bet. Now, if they kick a field goal, I would still win the bet.
Not necessarily.
Unless they get the turnover and don't get a first down. The key is for me to win, they have to get a first down.
They have
if
to get
score
a first down.
She wins.
They could first play on the drive. Tom Brady could throw a pick. We in field goal range. They go 3 downs and out. They kick a field goal. Guess what? I still win the bet.
You win the bet. Okay. We'll add on to the bet. I'll talk to her. We've got her Dr. Pepper ribs on the line. But what is she giving up if they don't?
She has to give up something in return because we're paying money in order for us to do it. She's not paying no money.
She's doing this mashed potato challenge. She's been running her mouth about it, and I said, "You're doing this mashed potato challenge. We're gonna fire it up. We're gonna eat some mashed potatoes one day. I don't know what else we're gonna eat with it. Maybe that's when we do our steak, because I'm gonna love my tomahawk steak and some mashed potatoes.
You're not eating
2 different kinds. Woo! Can't wait.
That's a plate of mashed potatoes.
Can't wait to eat it because they're getting at least one.
I tell you what, she wants in on the bet. If she loses, she's got to eat a piece of shrimp.
Oh, so if they don't score a touchdown,
she's got to eat some shrimp.
She's got to eat a bite of shrimp, just one shrimp. Ooh. Okay. We'll propose the thing. We will see what she says. I bet you she says, "No, I'm not doing that."
She's got to add something in. If she loses, she's got to add something into it.
That's fair enough.
It has to be a kind of a 50-50-50 kind of thing. You win, you get something in return. You're winning that award. Because if they get a first down and they score a touchdown, I'm having to do 2 different things.
But what do you mean you're having to do 2?
So if they get a first down, me and you won the bet between me and you. If they score a touchdown, she wins the bet.
I would.
Therefore, I have to cook you a tomahawk.
No. That's the thing. That's what you're missing out. If they score a touchdown, we both lose out on the steaks. She gets her Dr. Pepper ribs. If they drive the field and don't score a touchdown, but get at least one first down, I would win the bet. And she would lose. You would lose. If they go 3 and out or punt it, or like we said, they throw a pick, he's in field goal range, and they don't get a first down. They don't get one first down, but they kick a field goal. you would then win the bet. I only win the bet if they get a first down. Now if they score a
Well,
touchdown on the
she has to pay some money for the tomahawk.
well, then that's
That
just
means
coming out of my pocket.
her and the loser are going 50-50. I mean, y'all two going 50-50.
Bullshit. We'll figure it out because I ain't going. I'm winning this bet. It's a guarantee.
You're gonna lose. Both of y'all gonna lose. They're going up against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay defense. You aren't winning.
We're gonna
Bottom
win.
line.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna win. I'm not worried about. I'm gonna win. Don't worry about it.
Just like the Dallas Mavericks, y'all gonna choke. Y'all gonna choke.
We lost to the champs because I'm going ahead and I'm sealing the deal. They're winning it all.
Don't be saying that. That don't matter. That don't mean nothing.
Steph
That don't
Curry.
mean nothing. That don't
Steph
mean
Curry.
nothing.
For real. You don't know. Football season is rolling around. For sure, it's coming up quick. Cowboys looking like they don't know what they're gonna do. People want them to spend money on a tight end. What are your thoughts? Should they pay Schultz $60 million or whatever they're talking about?
No. We had talked about that when they gave him the franchise tag. That was stupid. He's not worth the money that Kelsey deserves. He's not worth the money that David Njoku deserved. You're a nobody. If you're on any other team, if you're a free agent, who's gonna want you? Who's gonna pay you that money? You know, you basically had one or two good years because 2 years ago because the backup quarterback loved him, right? He's a product of people getting hurt, in my opinion. I would not pay him. That's the reason why they brought in the tight end in the draft. Because I think there is questions on it. You're only hurting your own stock at this point, in my opinion.
I'm with you. I would not be paying him the money that he's looking to get because he's really not proven. He hasn't played a full season, if I'm correct, because he's been hurt. And so we haven't had much luck keeping tight ends healthy. And you're wanting to pay him $60 million is what they're saying? No, I'm good. Now, if he goes out, balls out this year, okay, we'll see. We'll definitely see going in from there. But it should be interesting. Now, another thing that I just completely forgot, we'll jump back into some football talk here maybe in a minute. Your Texas Longhorn took on East Carolina. And I will admit something to people. Usually during these games, we try to call out home runs or outs or holding penalties or stuff just to kind of make it a little bit fun for us when we're watching it. This dude called out 2 home runs that East Carolina hit against his Longhorns. And then they still won the game. And then, of course, come game 3, they demolished them.
They'll come back and won.
How do you like their odds? Can they win a national championship?
I think they have a good shot. Just like the women. It's gonna kind of depend on who they face pitching wise. Definitely women wise, like I told you, they shouldn't have been there. They had a great run, not take anything away from them. Texas Longhorn women's softball team, hell of a season. Congratulations to them being runner-up, the first unseeded team to ever do that, and to do it for the first time in school history. Definitely shout out to them. The men's, on the other hand, you're in a position now where the expectations for the Texas Longhorn baseball team are high. It's going to be interesting to see if they can get by the Notre Dame, who beat the number 1 team in the nation. And then they're going to either face Oklahoma or that school down south from you, the Texas A&M Aggies, who, by the way, still do not know how to build a bonfire. You don't know how to build a bonfire.
Wow.
You
And
know,
they're in
knocking
engineering
you.
school.
Engineering school, y'all don't know how to build a bonfire. Just throw everything in there, light it up.
But you look at
they're
this.
both having great seasons too. It's gonna be they're in a tough group. If they get out of that group, I think from what I've heard, whoever wins that group is a favorite. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how they fare out of those 4 teams.
If you look at this thing, and somebody mentioned it, this little group, you could call it the old Southwest Conference, the old Big 12, or the new SEC. But if you look at the SEC of what they're going into, and we were talking about it with you with the Oklahoma and Texas, they're going into the SEC. So means that conference is only getting better softball wise. Baseball wise, it's only getting better because Oklahoma will be there. A&M's already there. Texas is going to go into the SEC. Arkansas is already a part of it. Ole Miss is already a part of it. Auburn's already a part of it. So you basically have 2 schools right now, Stanford and Notre Dame, that aren't part of the SEC or won't be a part of the SEC in the future. It's totally amazing, mind-boggling that from right there. So it should be interesting. It'd be nice to see them win, but yeah, they have their work cut out for them for sure. But I think they can get it done. But we'll see. We will see how they go. We'll have some updates. I'm sure he'll keep you updated on his Facebook and stuff from there. So check him out for sure. As we go, like I said, let's dive back into it. What are your thoughts? What is your first reaction when you hear Devontae Adams say Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers are basically the same player? Now, granted, he has to say that because he's playing with Derek Carr, but there are buddies. What are your thoughts when you hear that?
I mean, you have to say that. That's like, Devontae Adams coming to the Cowboys and saying Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers are the same quarterback. They have to say it. You can't put down your quarterback. Same thing with Tyreek Hill, with Tua and Patrick Mahomes. You gotta compliment your quarterback. If you make your quarterback mad, you're probably not gonna want to throw the ball. They just got paid, but I think realistic wise, we as fans know they're not the same quarterback, they're not the same caliber quarterback. They're losing a lot from Aaron Rodgers to Derek Carr, just like you're losing a lot from Patrick Mahomes going to Tua. You're losing a lot of talent, quarterback awareness, skills, whatever, arm strength, accuracy, whatever it may be. But yeah, to see that comparison, I laughed about it, but realistically, like you said, you can't. If you're the player, you gotta compliment your quarterback.
I would agree.
You got to.
Now we can say it from his thing that I think he's smoking crack, but he definitely would be smoking something if he said Prescott was the same as Aaron Rodgers, for sure. Because that couldn't be further from the truth. But you have to say it. I mean, people made a big deal about it. I really didn't, because I think, what else is he gonna say? Yeah, you can't just say, "Oh yeah, he's not the compared to Aaron Rodgers." No, you gotta. You still need him to throw you the ball to make you look good. So, for sure, it will be interesting. What are you got any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, I mean, no really kind of final thoughts. I mean, we know the Warriors are going to win. Like I said before, Cowboys, still going to be the same old. Interested to see what they do in, they sign anybody. But I'm kind of interesting to see, how this defense is going to be. But yeah, those are my final thoughts.
I just saw something here that's making me laugh. It says top 5 defenses Brought to you by the D-Bag on 105.3 The Fan, D-Bag Nation. Number 5 is the 49ers. Number 3, I skipped number 4 on purpose. I'm going to say them last. I'm going to put them at number 1. So let me rephrase that. I'm going to put this as number 1. Number 4 is going to be Tampa Bay. Number 2, I'll give it the Green Bay Packers. And number 1, number 3, the Green Bay Packers. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. And number 1, Deshaun Watson's defense attorney. This dude is unbelievable. He's kept him from getting suspended, kept him from getting sued. I mean, there's more things that come out about this dude on a daily basis, and he's there. How about the Browns? They know they've messed up now. It's guaranteed. I mean, there was a TikTok that said, what did he do? The Browns investigation on it. They asked Deshaun Watson, "You do it?" No. Okay, cool. Here's $240 million. There you go. Like I said, they've found a way to screw it up. Now Baker doesn't even want to play for him. I can't blame him on that, but I think he should. Maybe our dream would come true on that scenario because they've already screwed the pooch. But
It'd be funny.
for sure, my final thoughts and to wrap it up here. Like I said, when you're out there, when you're cooking like that, and we're talking about these things, to figure out your method and your manner, to try some new things when you're out there cooking. When you definitely, I'm gonna try to get some wings going. I'll get some pictures on there on the smoker. I'll try some thighs. I'll try some of Randy's tricks. Brisket, can't be afraid of it. Gotta try it again. I'm just afraid of it hurting my pocketbook more than anything. Father's Day, I did get some red Magnus Chef gloves. Go check them out, MagnusChef.com. Hit roll 21 for your discount on that. You cannot beat these things. These things are awesome. I needed some better heat-resistant gloves, so Chelsea got me that for Father's Day. You can't go wrong with that. Again, my small business shout out wasn't really a business, but it's just a shout out to a group of individuals that are doing their thing, helping those around them in the community get better, whether they do pop-ups for fundraisers to raise money for kids that are sick or veterans or whatever. And that's the New England Pitmasters group out there. So definitely go check them out on Facebook. Ask to join their thing. If you need an invite, let me know. I will invite you. And you will be amazed at some of the tips and tricks these guys throw out there as they try to put New England on the map for barbecue. But of course, when you're out there cooking, you're out there doing anything like that, do it with love and do it with passion. And Junior and Randy will see you down the road. Randy, what's your fun? Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Don't tell me what to do.
Wrap it up. I'm your big brother. I said wrap it up.
I'm gonna tell my mama.
Tell your mama.
Mama. As always, give our stuff a try. BigSinsBarbecue.com. Hit up all of our social media sites: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you have any kind of barbecue questions, want us to cater for your family, business, whatever it is, hit us up. Let us know. Definitely, we will give you a price, and we will try to work with your budget. If you do have a budget, give our stuff a try, because you never know. You just may get hooked on big taste, big flavor, big Salinas. And as always, we'll see you down the road. As Pit Live Barbecue says, keep that smoke.
The original 5 levels are big, healthy, husky, fluffy, and damn. People ask, what could be bigger than damn?